A vision higher than the sky. Dream so big, she's learning to fly. Family by her side, a twinkle in her eye. Building her empire, waving down goodbye. Pretty smart, and she's on a roll. Heart on fire, got an unshakable goal. Dreams of family, she's got the mix just right. Rising like the sun, burning so bright.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Pretty Smart Business Podcast. I am your host, Sheena White, and we are here today with a very special guest. Her name is Angela Thomas Smith, and she is a passionate creator in writing, publishing, and media. She authored over 125 works. It's like mind-boggling to me, but 125 works across genres, and founded her own magazine to spotlight diverse voices. As a podcast network owner and publishing coach, Angela empowers others to share powerful stories driven by her deep love for creativity, connection, and innovation. Welcome to the show, Angela Thomas Smith. Yeah, so we clap for you here at Pretty Smart Business. We clap. Okay. So I'm super intrigued to learn what got you into publishing and stuff in the first place. I mean, 125 works, and you said before the show you actually even have more than that. So I'm like super inspired. This is awesome.
So it was not something that I dreamed of doing. I think it was in 2016. Someone invited me to be a part of an anthology. And in them inviting me to be a part of that anthology, it lit a fire in me. People have always told me that I had a book in me. And it just like it lit something under me. So I began just to start sharing different parts of my journey, different parts of my testimony, things that I had overcame that I thought people needed to hear about that could possibly help them on their journey. So that's how I got started. Actually, I just published my first client this year. I said in 2025, I was going to do more in helping other people put their works out and helping other people share their stories. Because oftentimes I get asked, how can I publish? How can I get my book out? What can I do to become an author? So it made me want to share with others how they can become a published author, how they can get their work out there. So that's what I
That's
did.
so awesome. No, I love it so much. Um, and so you help people become creative. And I think so as a financial coach, I think sometimes I always say I'm not creative, which I don't necessarily think is true, but it's just dealing with numbers and spreadsheets so often, it makes you feel like you're not as creative because it's just math, you know? So how do you think creativity has played a role in your success?
So with me being able to be expressive, being able to share those things, not all the time I'm able to just bring it out in words. So I like the fact that I can write. I like the fact that I can create a poem. I like the fact that I can do other things to express and to get things out, and also to get other people to express and to get things out. Because oftentimes we hold things in, and we don't want to share. Even if a lesson, I've used writing as an outlet to do some teaching. So yeah, we have to be creative and innovative because this world is forever growing, it's forever changing, and we have to be willing to adapt and be willing to change.
Yeah, most definitely. And how do you think that you can, or sorry, what challenges did you face in your journey, and how did you use creativity to kind of overcome them?
Well, most of my challenges was me, me not believing in me, me not trusting the process and truly trusting, those gifts and those talents. So I had to learn how to implement those things that I wanted to do in everything that I was doing. So I'm a talker. I love to talk. I love to conversate. I love to. I don't meet a stranger. So podcasting was one of those things that hey, this is another outlet that not only I can use to share my story, but I can help other people share their stories, and then I get a way to be creative with that. I can use graphics. I can use different things to, pull different things out that even I didn't even know, because I didn't realize that I was a poet until probably about 6 years ago, and 9 books later. Um, so just
Nine poetry books? Wow, that's crazy.
actually, I have more. I just have 3 series. I did 3 poetry series. I dabble in I like to bring awareness to different issues and different causes. So mental illness is one of those issues that I'm passionate about.
Hmm.
Domestic violence is one of those issues that I'm passionate about. So I take those things that I'm passionate about, and I try to put them in the form of a book. But I don't do it alone. I try to bring other people along with me. I love doing anthology. They call me the anthology queen, because I love to bring people together through anthologies and allow them to share their story. Because oftentimes people, they may not have a whole book, but they may have enough for a chapter, and
Hmm.
somebody need to hear that chapter. Somebody need to hear that nugget.
I like it. Yeah. As a domestic violence victim myself, I'm very passionate also about DV, and I think that poetry can be a good way of connecting with people, in a heart way, because it's not always, the it's not always so cut and dry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Um, so how can business owners harness creativity to innovate and solve problems within their industries?
Always being open minded and being willing to look past um whatever is holding you back, and looking for ways that you can innovate those things that you're passionate about. I always tell people to try to get into a profession that's a passion to you. Then it's not like it's not work. It's just you doing your passion. And no, it's not a hobby, because a lot of people will say, oh, you just doing a hobby. No, it's not a hobby. When you're passionate about
Hobbies
something,
don't pay.
and that, no, hobbies don't pay, but hobbies don't pay. But when you take that passion will pay off. Because that
Exactly.
passion, it drives your creativity. It will drive your creativity. You will find yourself doing things that you never thought you would do. Like hosting red carpets and hosting conferences and doing a lot of the speaking events that I do. I never thought I would be doing a lot of those things, nor did I think I had the capability of doing those things. But just being in a creative space and allowing other people to pull things out of me, and then me being able to pull things out of other people, we just learn how to, I call them the 4 C's. We learn how to connect, we learn how to collaborate, create, and community build. See, once you get that tribe, if you want to call it,
Hmm.
together, and you're able to operate in those 4 C's, then we're always able to innovate creativity and those things that we're passionate about in our jobs and in our businesses.
Yeah. No, I love it. Um, because I like those 4 C's too, because I think those, you really need all of them, especially when you're creating a business, because sometimes it can feel very lonely,
Hmm.
And so, especially that community building portion, to make sure that we have people around us who encourage us and keep us going even when maybe it's a little hard.
It is, because it's gonna come times when you are an entrepreneur. Sometimes it feels like you're on this journey by yourself, and just having other people and knowing other people are on the same mission with you. Y'all may not be doing the same thing, but that you're on this journey together. And there may be some areas that you have had success in that I failed in, that I may be able to come to you and say, "Hey, can you help me in this area?" And vice versa. And that's
Mhm.
how it should be. We should be able to pull on one another, and where I'm weak at, you may be strong, and we can pull off each other.
Mhm.
And that's what it's about, building businesses and building those relationships. I tell people all the time, it's important to build relationship. Do not burn bridges, but build relationships.
Some bridges are meant to be burned, though.
Now those I don't mind for those to be closed. When they need to be closed, I love for them to be closed. But when necessary, I love building relationships that can help take us all to the next level and can help us all build on what we're doing.
100%. 100%. So, you said something interesting before that being creative has opened up so many things you didn't think were possible for you. So, how do you think that rethinking your limitations has helped your personal and professional growth?
Stepping outside the box and realizing that you can, if you're willing to put in the work. Sometimes you have to get the extra training, get the extra knowledge, go to some workshops, attend these different things. So I had to move out of my way. I had to stop putting limitations, because I put limitations on myself, because when I first started, I didn't have a degree. Since then, I have acquired 3 degrees. I just acquired my master's. So I stopped putting limitations on myself, stop making it about the degrees. And so I got the degrees to show people that I didn't need the degrees, but if you want the degrees, you can get the degrees. And hey, I'm still doing the same thing. You talk about 30 years later. I got the degrees 30 years after I graduated from high school. Um, I've been in business now since 2012. So
Yeah.
I just want people to understand that where there's a will, there's a way. And if you're willing to work hard, you can do whatever you want to do. Get out here, build relationships. And when you see there's something that you want to do, then find somebody that is already operating in that you're doing, and kind of shadow them. Try to get everything that you can, you know. That's how I did it. Because you talking about, I'm a little old country girl from Levelland, South Carolina. People never heard of it, so I tell them, have you ever seen Black Panther? You Chadwick Boseman was my neighbor. He
Are
not
you
my
serious?
neighbor, but he was. We lived in the same area. We're from the same area.
That's
He's from
crazy. That's awesome.
He's from Belton, South Carolina. I'm from Anderson, South Carolina. All the small towns around that area. But never thought I would be doing a lot of the things. And a lot of the people that come from our area, a lot of us, we never thought, because many people labeled us working in warehouses, working in the industrial field,
Hmm.
because that's what a lot of our family members did, because that's the environment that we live in. But I was one of those people that's not what I wanted to do. At a young age, I knew that was not what I wanted to do. I knew that I was going to be doing something different. Everybody in my family working those same meals. I didn't want to do it. So I ended up leaving South Carolina. I was able to get a basketball scholarship. I ended up coming to Atlanta, Georgia, played basketball at Morris Brown. I did not graduate, but I did have the experience. I got to experience the city life, got to experience Atlanta and its culture. And I decided that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Being around all these different entrepreneurs, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I started just started doing different things, and I landed up becoming an author, becoming a podcast host. And then the pandemic hit, so we had to innovate. We had to come up with different things to keep our businesses going,
Hmm.
to keep on, to keep afloat. So I created the magazine, I came up with the podcast, and here I am.
I love it. Yeah, and I think it's, so we're just two small town girls because I'm also from a very small town that no one has ever heard of. But in Washington State, which is very, very far from South Carolina, but still small town and still the same, I think, mindset, right? Like I asked on Facebook this one time, I said, um, This was years ago when I still had tons of like high school friends on my Facebook. And I was like, if you could tell your 18-year-old self one thing, what would you say? And like all these people from my high school were like, go to the shipyard earlier. So you were talking about the mills. Where I come from is the shipyard. And I'm like, go to the shipyard earlier? Like what? Like they're because they should have just done that right out of high school. Like instead of doing anything else, they should have just gone straight to the shipyard. Like we come from the place of Microsoft and Amazon. You wouldn't tell yourself to invest. Like, what are you doing here? But that's the
Okay.
mindset, right? Just like do the kind of like poopy, in my opinion, poopy thing earlier. So we're just two small town girls who are making it in the big cities.
Okay, we was just we were born in the small town, but we just had that big city spirit inside of us that just had to come out. So I'm glad that it brought us from those areas so that we could branch out, so that other people could see us, because
Yeah.
there's definitely something that God wanted to do through us, and He's definitely done that. Because me, I never thought 100, I think it's 144 books the last time I checked. When I uploaded the last book, I think it was 144. Actually, I have a magazine that's dropping Sunday, so we'll be at 146 publications.
I love it.
Never thought it, but
Yeah.
I'm thankful because this journey I've been able to share, and I'm able to share with other people, and then I'm able to allow other people to share too. So we're just pulling on each other and helping businesses thrive, and helping build businesses, and teaching people that you can have a business, that you don't have to push nobody else's dream, push your own dream, because that's what it's all
Mm-hmm.
about.
Yeah, definitely. So what if like you're talking to somebody who's just beginning and thinking, okay, I want to write a book. Where do they even start?
Outline. I tell people now, if you have something that constantly dropping in your spirit, just jot it down, journal it, write it down. Just keep writing it down. Did I know what I was doing when I first started? No. Maybe the first 40 books I didn't know, but it didn't stop me. I kept going, and trial and error. And then now we have so many people that can help you. We have editors, we have ghostwriters, we have all types of ways that you can get a book out now. It is not so hard. So I tell everybody, if you got a book in you, get it out, because there's somebody out there that is waiting to hear your nugget.
Mm-hmm. So do you self-publish all of your publications or do you have a publisher that you work with?
I self-publish, and then I have a boutique publisher that I work with. They're not a big publishing house, but they are a small boutique publishing company that I use from time to time. They do a lot of my editing. I refer a lot of people to them. Um, Anybody that has services that I can utilize from time to time, I utilize them. Editors, proofreaders, um, things of that nature. I don't like to format. If I can use someone to format, I love to use other people, but if I have to, I will. But I love using those that are in my area that specialize in these different things. I'm always looking for editors, people to edit, even not just for myself, but for the people that I coach, because I don't edit. I don't edit. I play with formatting. I dabble with formatting, but I really don't. But I tell anybody, get it down on paper, get it out you, and then allow the editor to do their job, and then you have the last say. So you can tell them if the job was good, or if they need to go back to the table. So you have that option.
Yeah. So of all the things that you have written, which one's your favorite?
My favorite is the last book that I done, and it was
Okay.
a poetry book called Awaken Verses, Unleashing the Power Within. Um, in this particular poetry book, I actually, there's 9 other women inside of this book. So their poems, I actually broke down their poems. I analyzed their poems, because oftentimes people read poetry and they don't understand it. They just read it as words, and they don't often understand it. So I broke down and analyzed each one of the poems, and that is Awaken versus Unleashing the Power Within. It just dropped this month, well, April, for National Poetry Awareness Month. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Um, and so how can someone with no formal creative background begin to cultivate their creativity in their work?
So allow your imagination to come through.
Okay.
Allow that child version of you to come through. Usually, our most creative points are when we're children, and if we would allow that younger version of us to come through, then we could be more creative. I think going back and utilizing some of those things that I grew up playing in the country, playing in trees, and just being out in nature, and just getting back to doing some of those things allowed some of my creativities to come forth. Having the opportunity to live in Myrtle Beach for 5 years and experiencing the beach and experiencing that, that brought a lot of my creativity as well. So just finding a place where you're able to be free and comfortable, it sparks up that imagination and that creativity inside. At least it did it for me.
I love it. And so what key takeaway do you offer for anyone who is thinking, okay, this sounds amazing. I want to start publishing. Um, but like, and or maybe I already have an outline. Like, what is the key takeaway for them to kind of get going?
So what are you waiting on? Like, what really are you waiting on? Like the Nikes, they say do it, just do it. Like, someone is out here waiting to hear that nugget that you need to drop. It may seem little to you, but it may be that thing that was going to bring somebody out. Share a quick testimony. I started the prayer line about 5 years ago. And sometimes you wonder if what you're doing is being seen, being heard, being is meeting a need. Well, today, I had a testimony. There was a young lady that come on right when we was getting off the prayer line, and she said I came on. Somebody shared this on my page, and I came on. She said because I was in the midst of getting ready to unlive myself, and we prayed with her. So don't think that you are not, your message is not needed, because there's somebody out there that needs exactly what it is that you need to put out in that book. So just do it.
I love it. I love it so much. Okay. Where can our viewers connect with you and find you?
So I'm all over the place. So I always tell people they can go to Linktree, Queen of Collaborations, and they can see all of my links, because I have a website, I have Amazon, I have YouTube, Twitch, U42. I have all those channels. So I always refer people to the link tree, and it's just backslash Queen of Collaborations. And you can check me out on most all social media platforms. You can check out my books, different places where you can find me.
I love it so much. Okay. So, Angela, the queen of collaborations, thank you so much for joining us on the Pretty Smart Business podcast. Um, I definitely, it was a message to me that because I have a book that I have outlined, I just haven't written, that I need to actually write it down and get it done. So, thank you so much for joining us, and I can't wait to collaborate with you further.
Thank you for having me. And I look forward to seeing your book on the shelf.